praise, glory, honor, and respect due unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. I'd like to give double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, the true leaders of the nation of Israel, set up on the earth to teach today. Salutations to the Akim around the four corners of the globe, pushing his word with truth, sincerity, and with charity. To you brothers, I'd like to say shalom. I got a quick little lesson on the law of life for a heritage, man. In other words, Israel is the Lord's portion. For the simple fact, what really makes us Israel is the fact that we have these laws, statutes, and commandments. That we have this book. That's what makes us special. Because the Most High chose us to be that special people unto Him, man. He chose us to be Israel. To be the princes of the power. That's why I say it like that. But I'm gonna start with this Sirach. This Sirach chapter 17, verse 7. It says, Withal he filled them with the knowledge of understanding and showed them good and evil. And how did he do that, man? By basically giving us these laws, statutes, commandments, man. Because in Romans, I believe it's the 7th chapter. Yes, it's the 7th chapter. It talks about, I would not have known lust unless the law said do not covet. So the law taught us what's right and wrong, man. And like also Paul has said, man, where there is no what I'll say, where there is no law, there is no sin. For the simple fact, it's basically a freeway right there, man. It's free, like it's not against the law, so it's okay to do. But the main point is the law teaches you right and wrong. It says he gave them understanding of good and evil, man. And you got to get that from scriptures. Ultimately, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai got to give you that understanding. And he's going to give it to you through another man. It's not like you nobody special, man. The Lord not finna come down from his throne and just give you the whole breakdown right then and there. It don't work like that. Verse 8. He set his eyes upon their hearts that he might show that he might show them the greatness of his works. He gave them to glory in his marvelous acts forever, that they might declare his works with understanding. And who's doing that, man? Ultimately, the men of the Lord out there preaching his word, but really it's GMS, man. And the people that teach not the people, but the camps that teach the similar doctrine, man, the same doctrine. For the simple fact, that's giving glory to his marvelous acts forever, man. That's what we're doing now when we go into these scriptures, break down the scriptures, go into the history. Like Romans 15:4, the things written 4 times written for our learning. But not only do we learn from it, well, it's just like a raw ass movie, man. That's like, it amazes you, man. It's like, damn. This is our heritage, man. This is what we go back to. We go back to kings, men of valor, mighty ass people, man. Just being a raw ass nation. But I mean, Israel's a raw nation in itself on a carnal sense, but it's like it. Once you don't, it's not until you come back into your true nationality when you realize, like, oh man, when you come back to the heritage and get the spiritual aspect about it, the mental breakdown of it, then you be like, yeah, man, like the nigga Future say, the shit get colossal, man. The shit's deep. Not to call it shit Salaki. But it's deep, man. It's heavy. It's a heavy deal. Verse 10. And the elect shall praise his holy name. Besides this, he gave them knowledge and the law of life for an heritage. What's the law of life, man? Really, the law of Moses. It was a correct guide to how people should live their life, man. And he gave it to us for as a heritage, man. And you niggas turn your back to it. He made an everlasting covenant with them and showed them his judgments. Their eyes saw the majesty of his glory, and their ears heard his glorious voice. And he said unto them, beware of all unrighteousness. And he gave every man commandment concerning his neighbor. Their ways are ever before him, and shall not be hid from his eyes. Every man from his youth is given to evil. Neither could they make to themselves fleshly hearts for stoning. And that going to why we got to get that new covenant. Why we got to get out these chains of darkness, this weak ass body, man. Because we'd never be able to fulfill the law completely, man. And for you IUIC niggas that think, okay, man, well, you got the law is how you gonna get saved. It's not. 2 Corinthians, the 3rd chapter, 6th verse say, the letter killeth, man, but the spirit maketh alive, man. What's the letter of the law, man? It killeth, man. Going back to the Romans, man. I mean, the Romans 7, it teach you right from wrong. And if you commit one sin, you're guilty of them all. So, man, like, either way, the law is death. But, therefore, should we say the law is sin? God forbid. Should we not keep the law because we're under grace? God forbid. You got to show your faith by your works, man. It's all a proving process, man. Proving yourself, man. Because, honestly, we're not worthy of it. We'll never be worthy. Ever. There's nothing you can do, man. Say, myself, I'm going to use myself, for example. I've been alive 19 years. 18 years of my life I've been doing wickedness. Well, not a whole 18 because it starts when you're 12. So, what? 6? Yeah, that's 6. 6 years of my life of being a man, I did nothing but wickedness. And I've been in the truth 1 year. So even the righteousness that I've been doing within this 1 year, I still got, 5 years to go. And then, on top of that, you fuck up still in the truth. Like Galatians say, man, it is by grace you are saved. So now that you got that grace, man, hey, you know how some people, you give an inch, they take a mile, you better take that motherfucking mile. Run with it and do what you gotta do, bro. Honestly. But, well, like I was saying, that's going back to the fleshly hearts for a stony heart, man. Going back to that new covenant, man. Lord willing, we be those men. First, that get elected, that first round pick, man. We get them new hearts, man, that was spoken about in Ezekiel, the 36th chapter, and Hebrews, the 8th chapter, man. Verse 17, for in the division of the nations of the whole earth, he set a ruler over every people, but Israel is the Lord's portion, whom being the firstborn, he nourished with discipline, and giving him the light of his love, doth not forsake him. Therefore, all their works are as the sun before him, and his eyes are continually upon their ways. None of their unrighteous deeds are hid from him, but all their sins are before Yahweh. And Yahweh being gracious, and knowing his workmanship, neither left nor forsook them, but spared them. And that's the thing, man, he knew what we was on, man. He knew, like your parents always tell you, I know you better than you know yourself, man. Because they know what you're going to do, man. They know how you're going to react to certain things. They know how you're going to deal with certain things, man. And the Most High knew it. That's why he decided to show grace to us, man. And it's a beautiful thing, but it's a humbling thing, man. Because you got to realize, man, if you in this truth, man, you don't deserve it. I think about it sometimes, and I tell up every time I think about it, like, why? Why? Just why me? I never expected this. If it was up to me, I'd have been a nigga selling drugs in the world for the rest of my life. Never have a job. Sleeping under my mother's roof, man. Being a nigga. Using people for what I could. But, for some reason, the Most High took us out of that. So, Tawadi out watching me out shot, man. Next, I wanted to touch on the main 2 points with verse 11. Besides this, he gave them knowledge and the law of life for an heritage. So we're going to touch on that. And then verse 17. For the division of the nations of the whole earth, he set a ruler over every people, but Israel is the Lord's portion. So we just going to, go to the milk scriptures. Like the Elder Malcolm always say, you can drown somebody in milk, man. Because it's a foundation. Everything starts off simple, then it builds up eventually, but it all go back to what? The milk. So this is Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as Yahweh my power commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. I'm going to continue reading. It says, this is verse 7. It says, for what nation is there so great, who have the Most High so nigh unto them? As Yahweh our power is in all things that we call upon him for. And what nation is there so great, that have statutes and judgments so righteous, as all this law which I set before you this day? Only take heed to thyself, and keep thy soul diligently, lest thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen, and lest they depart from thy heart all the days of thy life. But teach thy sons and thy sons' sons, man. And teaching thy sons' sons, and if you keep going, that's a heritage, man. So that proves it right there. This was our heritage. This was really ours, man. This is only for us. Only for the nation of Israel. And who are the Israelites today? The so-called Negroes, the so-called Latinos, and the so-called Native Americans, man. According to your father, man. This is Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. It says, for thou art an holy people unto Yahweh thy power. Yahweh thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. It's like that's a scripture that really don't need no breakdown to it, man. That is the breakdown. Because like the Lord chose us, man. We are his portion. Like it says, Sirach 17:17. I want to hit another one real quick. It's Deuteronomy chapter 14 and 2. It says, for thou art an holy people unto Yahweh thy power, and Yahweh hath chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself, above all the nations that are upon the earth. And what peculiar means is special, man. So again, it reiterates the whole deal that the Most High chose us to himself, man. You can jump to Isaiah, 40th chapter, I believe it's the 41st chapter, and the 44th chapter, man. They say we are his friends, man. Damn. Get this quick precept. Amos. I mean, it's so many scripts. And this book out. Because I was flipping, but here go to Isaiah real quick. This is Isaiah 40 and 15. It says, behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as a small dust of the balance. Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing. Verse 17. All nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing, and vanity, man. So, like, if you got a number scale, man, they less than zero, man. They're negative. Like, there's no point. There's no point with you niggas, man. Like Michael say, beat it. Let me get this Amos. These scriptures really just milk. This is Amos chapter 3, verse 3. It said, hear this word that Yahweh hath spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities, man. Because what's sin? Sin is a transgression of the law, man. And that ties right in with iniquity, man. But if sin is a transgression of the law, you have to ask yourself, who was the law given to? And that goes into Israel, the Israelites. So therefore, if you are not an Israelite, you cannot sin. It's as easy as putting 2 plus 2 together. It's never going to be 3, and it's never going to be 5. And it's damn sure not 9. Jump back. Well, I'm in Psalms. Might as well get the Psalms. In Psalms chapter 147, verse 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Like, we the people of the book, man. We are the people of the book. The water Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. I'm gonna jump back. I'm gonna go back to this hymn. Perfect. This is 2 Samuel chapter 7, verse 23. And what one nation in the earth is like thy people, even like Israel, whom the Most High went to redeem for a people to himself, and to make a name, to make him a name, and to do for you great things, and terrible, for the land before the people which thou redeemest to thee from Egypt, from the nations and their gods. For thou hast confirmed to thyself thy people Israel to be a people unto thee forever, and thou Yahweh art become their God. So, I mean, like, there's so many scriptures we can go into, bro. Like, it's only for Israel, man. It's always been for Israel. But this is going to be my last scripture I close out. This is Sirach chapter 19, verse 19. The knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life, and they that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality. And in so many words, man, that little offer right there is only open to Israelites. But we know through the scriptures, man, that the elect is already predestinated, and that the elect is already got them slots filled. It's beautiful. It's perfect. With that, I like to give all praise, glory, honor, and respect due unto Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. I like to give double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, the true leaders of the nation of Israel set up on the earth to teach today. Salutations to the Akim around the 4 corners of the globe, pushing his word with truth, sincerity, and with charity. To you brothers, I like to say shalom and abad b'ball.